Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion. Your host, and welcome back to the Baseball Hut, and hopefully you like this video. Hit that subscribe button. So we got a whole bunch of rumors for you about the Mets involved. All these different players come from the same place, Jeff Passan. But before we get into that video, again, let's go over real quickly about Francisco Lindor. I'm a Met fan like you. I want the Mets to win. That's all I care about. We don't need this bickering back and forth about the title of the video or the tone of the video. And I welcome everybody in here to come to watch the videos. A lot of people left over the last video. Well, I'm sorry, but when your team has a collapse like the Mets had, everything has to be scrutinized. Everything has to be examined. What happened? What happened in that clubhouse, it spoke volumes about what was going on. And it really hurt them later on in the season. So that's why I've been talking about this the last few videos, because I thought it was very important to talk about it. Because we need to find out and make sure this never happens again. I'm tired of this. It's the third time in my life I've seen this happen with this franchise. We don't want to see it happen again. And if you don't examine every player and scrutinize every player that's involved in it, then it's going to happen again. If they don't do the right thing here, it will happen again. It has to stop. And I don't need people bickering with me and complaining to me about this or that. Saying I'm not much of a Met fan. Look, it's about the name on the front, not the name on the back. Simple as that. And I also would mention some of the things that have been said about some of the players a little over the line. Some of the things that have been said about Soto and Lindor. It's not personal with me. I don't know why they're making it personal with me and with the players. Either play well, they do well, or get him out of here. Simple as that. If Lindor can't carry it, let's got to find a way to move him. Same thing with Soto at some point in the future. I'm just putting it out there. Okay? 5 years of the Mets, spend a lot of money and they haven't won anything. So that's why it's so important to figure out what happened this season. But now they're trying to move on to 2026. And here we have from Jeff Passan, the big MLB insider. He says the Mets are in the mix for Schwarber, which I did a video on him earlier, Schwarber Valdez, and Kyle Tucker. ESPN baseball reporter Jeff Passan warmed up the hot stove Monday and had the Mets involved in free agent rumors for Kyle Tucker, Kyle Schwarber, Cody Bellinger, Schwarber Valdez. He also has Jeff McNeil likely on the way out via trade. Well, we kind of knew that about McNeil. But this thing about Schwarber was something new, which is great to see. Passan says Schwarber, the 32-year-old DH, who had 56 homers and drove in 132, while finishing second in the MVP voting, might be the likeliest of the big free agents to sign first. The baseball winter meetings start in 6 days. They're saying he might sign before or during the winter meetings. Unclear if something gets done before the winter meetings, but I'd be surprised if they end and he doesn't have a team. Passan wrote on Threads, the Phillies are the favorites to land Schwarber, but the Mets, Red Sox, Reds, and others remain involved. I've heard the Pirates, which I don't believe. Tucker, and this is unbelievable. I don't know if he's a Scott Boras player, but he may not sign until 2026. That's nonsense. You want to sign now. Sign before Christmas, dude. At the end of the day, nobody can make a team better than like Tucker. Whether it's Toronto, Philadelphia, either New York team, or perhaps one that misses out on the rest of the top players in the class. Tucker's price will be met, and he'll get a 10-year plus deal for more than $300 million, with an even higher ceiling possible. I'm gonna say this: he's good, but he's not Juan Soto. He's good, but he's not that good. He has won a lot, so the Yankees want to keep Bellinger, but Trent Grisham accepting the qualifying offer has complicated things. Well, why did these assholes in the Bronx offer it to him? They should just let him walk. According to the Passan, the Yankees have a logjam in the outfield. Mets, Dodgers, Phillies, and others may look to pry him out of the Bronx. Like Schwarber, he may be among the earliest. So that's good. I think we're gonna see some activity this week. I would hope. He also said Valdez, arguably the best pitcher and started this offseason is a fit for the Mets, and that a Tariq Skubal trade is looking exceedingly unlikely. Then Passan characterized dozen players by their likeness to be traded. Now the thing about Framber Valdez, he's left-handed, he's 32 years old. He's won a lot. He is a true ace. He would certainly settle the Mets rotation down, and they need that. I would also mention they could use another starter after that, too, from outside, possibly through a trade or whatever. They probably won't go. This is the pitchers that aren't going to get traded. Freddie Peralta, Hunter Green, Byron Buxton, Stephen Kwan. Will they be traded? Ketel Marte, at the bar beware, Jaron Duran, Joe Ryan, Pablo Lopez. And where will they go? Brendan Donovan, Luis Robert Jr., Jeff McNeil, Nolan Arenado. I don't think Robert Jr. is going to get traded. Any team picking him up will be crazy to do so. I don't think the Mets are being on him because they re-signed Tyrone Taylor. I did want to get somebody who was a little bit more with the Harrison Bader type. Regarding incumbent NL reliever of the year, Edwin Diaz, Passan notes that the 31-year-old will wind up with the heftiest deal of fellow back-end relievers, Aubrey Ritton, Robert Suarez, Pete Fairbanks, and Devin Williams. Another free agent Met Passan discusses a slugging first baseman Pete Alonso. And I get this, folks, about Pete. Get this. Pete had a career year and likely gone to the contract to back that up. Now, he's waiting for a team to step to the forefront. That's like last year. No team's going to give him a lot of years. They proved it last year. Any team could have gotten him for a good price, and he would have taken it. No team did that other than the Mets. If he thinks he's going to get a 7-year there, that's pie in the sky with diamonds and rubies. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Pete better prepare himself to come back to the Mets because that's probably what's going to wind up happening. The Mets said they want him back, but to go back with some of these other guys, Framber Valdez has been mentioned. Hector Gomez mentioned him. Now we got a real credible guy mentioning Valdez with the Mets. Mets need a true ace to take pressure off of Nolan McLean, settle this rotation down to where you know this guy's going to go 6, 7, 8 innings. The fact that this group cannot go more than 4 innings was a problem, and it's part of the reason why they collapsed. Not the primary reason, but many, many reasons. Kyle Tucker, Cody Bellinger, I kind of look at them in the same category. Athletic outfielder who has power, is good defensively. The only difference is between the two of them is where is Tucker going to play here? Tucker's been a right fielder. Is he going to play right field here? That means they'll move one starter to the left. And Bellinger can play all outfield positions, including center field, really well, and as well as first base. So he has a lot of versatility in terms of where he can play, unlike Tucker, who's just an outfielder. And Schwarber he's a apex home run hitter. He's at the top of that list. 56 home runs. He got over 300 home runs. He's got a very good chance of getting 500 home runs in his career. I didn't think the Mets would be in on him, but they're in the mix. So they bring him in here. He'll be the DH, I would think. Maybe once in a while play the outfield, but primarily be the DH here. So I guess he'd be a little bit of insurance in case the Mets lose Pete Alonso. And if they don't lose Pete at first, a little bit, and they can kind of share the DH spot a little bit here and there. But the one thing about Tucker, Schwarber, and Bellinger, and Framber Valdez, something that most of the Mets don't have in terms of just regular players and star players, all of these guys have won. They've all won a World Series, each one of them. Kyle Tucker with the Astros, Kyle Schwarber with the Cubs, Cody Bellinger with the Dodgers, and of course, Valdez with the Astros. It is extremely important to bring in guys that know what it takes to win. Okay? Very, very important to have players that can do that. And I think that's part of the reason why they brought in Semien too, is that he has won at the highest level. Because then it shows you guys are capable of doing it once before they could do it again, maybe somewhere else. So I'm happy with some of the names I've heard over the last week or so of who the Mets are talking to. I mean, really, since they traded Nimmo, they said they were going to open up, all these different possibilities for themselves, which is probably the smart thing. And I would agree, and you would agree with me, that Schwarber is a better, much, much better player than Brandon Nimmo. Bellinger is a better player than Brandon. He's won MVP. And, of course, Tucker's a much better player than Brandon. So if they can improve on that and hopefully improve the clubhouse dynamic to some degree, and then improve the pitching, that's going to go a long way. And again, I would sort of say that the pitching is the most important thing. You bring in Valdez, it calms down the rotation. Then maybe you look to see if you can make a trade for another starter that is a guy that can give you multiple innings. And then from there on, you can figure out who the closer is and who's going to be playing first. And who's going to be who's going to be in that outfield. So, but the number one thing they have to do is figure out what bat they want in this offense. That's an improvement over Brandon Nimmo. All these three guys we mentioned here, Tucker, Schwarber, and Cody Bellinger, are all improvements over Brandon Nimmo. And I would say that Semien is an improvement over Jeff McNeil. So right off the bat, you're a much better team, but you have to figure out what you want to do with Pete. But you let me know what you think about this video. And of course, can't we all get along? So you come in here and leave comments. Just don't fight with me, because I don't have the patience for it. And there's no reason to. It's not that important. This stuff's not that important. But thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to the Baseball Hut. And I'll see you later.